So you're probably wondering, with all the 5-star characters coming, Arataki just round the corner, Albedo rerun, we've currently got Child, Hu Tao is also coming, where is Ganyu, you're probably wondering. So why am I doing a 4-star character build? Well, that is because NINGGUANG is probably one of the best characters in the game, bar none. Her burst potential is astronomical, and she is a character that some do overlook based on her playstyle, especially as she only fires Geo. So if you're fighting anything that's Geo only, she is completely and utterly just void. She can't do any damage, but to anything else she is doing insane amounts of damage, and I've got a showcase that's going to be shown at the end of the video for you to just see the sheer potential of NINGGUANG. However, here is just a quick clip just to show you the sheer potential of what this character can do if built correctly, and it really doesn't take a lot to build her. So a good place to start is the actual weapon. Currently I'm using the Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds. Now it's a 5-star, it is crit based as a substat. The actual perk is completely and utterly useless to NINGGUANG. She will barely ever make any use of this, which is a little disappointing. However, what we're taking from this is the actual crit rate, which pairs really well with, say, Bennett's ultimate when he drops his burst on the floor. As you're getting the extra damage boost from there, you're also boosting your crit rate. It's a very nice weapon, and with the higher base attack, it does really well. Now, if you don't have the Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds, a Solar Pearl is your next best option. This is really good. It also has crit rate. At max level 90, it goes up to 470, 480, and the crit rate stays at 25%, so you're only losing about 5%. However, the actual perk, Solar Shine, is actually where this actually shines. Normal attack hits increase elemental skill and elemental burst damage by 25% for 6 seconds, and now this goes up all the way, I think, to about 40% at max refinement 5. Likewise, elemental skills, which is her shield, or burst hits, which you'll be using a lot, increase normal attack damage by 25%. So you're constantly exchanging between this give and take: normal attack, burst, shield, normal attack, burst, shield, and you are gonna be utilizing that 40% extra damage quite a lot. So that's why I say, if you don't have a 5-star weapon like the Lost Prayer, the Solar Pearl at Refinement 5 is definitely the way to go. Of course, this is a Battle Pass weapon, so you do need to have the Battle Pass in order to get this. So next we're going to talk about her Constellations, and this is where NINGGUANG goes from an average character to God tier. Now, if you're using NINGGUANG with 0 constellations, well, she's an average at best character. She's not going to shine in really any way. But at Constellation 1, her normal attacks deal AoE damage, and this is a natural trait as well, which is really handy, and it does boost your DPS. Now, the second constellation, Shock Effect, when a jade screen is shattered, its cooldown is reset, can occur once every 6 seconds. So what this means is if you put out a jade screen and it accidentally breaks, or it's hit a wall or something and it's shattered, you can instantly put up another one. And the reason why the jade screen is so useful is that it gives you a 10% buff as soon as you run through on your geo damage. This is a really useful constellation. Now, if we look at our third constellation, it increases Star Shatter by 3, giving you that option to go to 15. The fourth constellation is more of a party buff. It increases nearby characters' elemental resistance. Okay, it's fine, but not great. The fifth one increases the level of Jade Screen by 3, so it can go to a maximum of 15, but it's this final one here. This makes her go from a really good character to God tier. What this does exactly, as you're seeing on screen right now, as you use your burst, you instantly get 7 Jades on your character, which you can immediately use again. It's like getting a second super and being able to use it all over again. The amount of damage that she can put out with a C6 is insane, and as you're going to see in the actual showcases where I go around defeating bosses and enemies, you'll just see the sheer amount of potential that this character has. And bear in mind that my character isn't the best built. There is still a lot of room for improvement. So looking at NINGGUANG's talents, it's clear where you want to go with this. Star Shatter is definitely the one you want to max out first. Star Shatter is definitely something I'm working on right now to max out, and the damage output you're seeing, there's still room for improvement. There are still 3 levels on Star Shatter that I can put onto this to increase my overall damage output. Normal attack would be the second one I go with because I am still doing auto attacks, and it is AoE damage as well, so I'm doing even more damage with this. Jade Scream would probably be the third one I go with. In fact, I don't even think it's worth taking any further than where I've taken it right now, but definitely with the normal attack and Star Shatter, those are the ones you want to focus on. Star Shatter especially, this is something that will, you'll reap the benefits. So onto artifacts. The current sets I'm working with at the moment are Archaic Petra and Noblesse Oblige. Archaic Petra gives me that 15% extra geo damage bonus, whereas Noblesse Oblige gives me that extra burst damage, that 20%. And because NINGGUANG's burst requires 40 energy, it's really low, it's really easy to fill up, and when you pair her with another geo, she's almost always got her burst up. And getting the extra 20% from her burst is definitely more valuable in my opinion than the 18% you get from, say, Gladiator set. Now you can absolutely go with a Gladiator set for 2-piece if you don't pair her up with another geo. Gathering energy without another geo is a little slow, so I can see in that kind of comp why you would want to go with a Gladiator set. However, NINGGUANG is a little squishy. She doesn't, survive very well, so she is generally paired with a shield. I use Zhongli, but you've also got other characters, Noelle, you've got Diona that can also use shields. A shield, in my opinion, for her is definitely a must because it will increase her life expectancy and allow her to be a little more reckless in getting into those burst damage situations. Therefore, this is why I personally went with 2-piece Archaic Petra and 2-piece Noblesse Oblige. Now when we're looking at the sets in general, as you can see here, these are amazing pieces. There is so much room for improvement here. Sure, the crit is actually quite nice here, but the crit damage could have been a hell of a lot better. We've got some attack here, which is nice. On the flower, again, only 5% crit damage, 10% crit rate. That crit damage could have been even nicer with maybe like a 10% or 15%, just giving me that extra boost. For the actual Hourglass, I've gone with an attack Hourglass. Again, 15% crit damage is actually really nice on this. Would have been nice if that HP or Elemental Mastery was a crit chance, but it wasn't. But still, this is actually a decent piece. We look at the goblet. With the goblet, I've got a geo damage bonus. We do want one of these to increase our geo damage. I've got 15% crit damage on this as well, along with attack boost and raw attack up, which is always very, very nice. Again, having that defense or crit chance would have been perfect. Maybe with a 7% roll or an 8% roll, it would have been perfect. Here we have a crit damage headpiece, which is probably my worst piece in the actual set overall. It's got no crit chance, it's got no crit damage, and I have been farming tirelessly for a crit damage headpiece with crit chance on it. It hasn't dropped yet, but that is where I would actually place this in. If we look at our overall set, we can see crit rate is now at 60%, but if I was gaining crit rate from those other few pieces, I would actually be sitting roughly on about 70, maybe 75%, maybe pushing to 80 if I'm lucky. Now, at that point, I can actually drop the Song of Prayers and use another book that does even more damage that's got an attack substat. But as of right now, I'm having to use this because my artifacts just aren't as good. At the same time, the same with the crit damage, they could have been pushed a little bit further. I could have probably squeezed out maybe another 20% of crit damage, but at 155%, as you'll see in the showcase video, that is a plenty. 111% energy recharge is very good for this. If we look at the geo damage, we're at 117.6%, and that is without using the shield and going through it, which gives me an additional 10%. Overall, when we're looking at what I've got here, there is clear signs for improvement, absolutely, but the sheer damage she can actually output in this current state is crazy. and it's mental to think that she can only get stronger, she can only get better. And that's where NINGGUANG really shines. She is such a versatile, useful character, and in my opinion, at C6 becomes God tier and is one of the greatest characters in the game, period. Well, that's enough of me rambling about this build. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Now I want you to check out the showcase. Let me know what you think of that damage. Keep in mind that there is still a decent amount of room for improvement here. If I rolled God rolled artifacts, I could probably push the crit with a attack based 5-star book all the way up to around, say, to 50-60%, but I could push my crit damage, which is where it's at, all the way up to 200 plus. Can you imagine the damage that I'll be doing with 200 plus crit damage? My god, it's gonna be sexy. Right, check out the showcase, let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Until the next video, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.